Well, hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today's video is all about fitting golf clubs. I'm at PXG here in South London, and some of you may have seen before that I actually went through a PXG fitting for myself, not only with my driver that I actually use, which is the Black Ops 9-degree head. Been messing about with the shaft in it, but feel like I've got something that I really like now. However, I was fitted into a set of PXG irons, and when they arrived, they didn't kind of go how I wanted them to go. Right at the beginning of the season, so I didn't want to mess about with them right there and then. So I thought, now that the season's kind of finished, I'd bring them back up to PXG and see if we can get them tidied up, work into what I need, and then see if we can get them in the bag for this winter. Now, the irons that we're talking about are their 0317T. The idea of these irons is they look to me very much like a blade, but the performance of them is that we should get a little bit more help out of them. Now, I'm gonna go through the fitting with Connor, who actually fitted me for these irons originally. We're gonna go through them, get them measured up, get them spec'd up to what I'm currently using, and see if we can get them improved. So let's go through the fitting process. Well, let's just get into the video. Connor, welcome back to the channel. Here we are again,
Good
6 months later or whatever it was. I can't remember when I was here last.
Good to have you back.
So I wanted to talk to you today about the iron fitting or spec check that we're going to do.
Okay.
Can you just give people just a little bit of a rundown of what you offer as a company for spec checks and things like that?
So spec checks, when you get fitted up, obviously you're going to spend a lot of money on a set of clubs, be it irons, woods, or a full set. And we just like to give people the confidence that if something's not quite right on the course, when they get out with them, that with all the adjustability with our clubs, we like to welcome them back, so we can change lie angle, change the weight in the head, change the swing weight. And then also, obviously, if it's a case that the shaft was wrong or something was misfit, we will change the shafts for you. So within 30 days, we can change out the shafts, change the heads if we need to. Down the line, even within 12 months, we can even just look at swing weight or lie angle if the swing has changed. So there's a lot of adjustability there, and we just like to, I suppose, give people the peace of mind that we can, you know, make adjustments if we need to.
So with that in mind, I have brought back the irons that we went through the whole process of, and obviously at the time we were talking about me finding something that looks great, feels great, but performs, should we say, spec-wise similar to what I've got in like a blade, but having that little bit more forgiveness, which is what we kind of found in this particular iron. And I gotta say, I pick it up every day in the office because I want to get them in the bag. Do you have my specs there, as in what we kind of went through?
Yeah, I do.
And kind of give us a bit of an overview of what kind of happened, should we say? Yeah,
so we went 0317T, same length as you had. We went 2 degrees flat because we know you just don't want that left miss.
Yeah.
And we built them to a D3 swing weight. So I know that was maybe a little bit heavier than you had it in the past, but we just wanted that bit of stability and just wanted to feel where the head is on the downswing. So yeah, I mean, that's it. We had a DHG 120 S300 shaft, and numbers seem good, but obviously again, out in the course, if things aren't quite working, if you had time, we'd have loved to get you straight back in because things weren't quite right, were they, when you first played?
Absolutely no, they weren't at all. Strike location very much in the toe.
Yeah.
Shots leaking heavily to the right, and I had to really feel like I worked my hands to get that club to square up. So it was either going to be a combination of a number of things. Either the ideal scenario is that possibly the swing weight is too heavy for me, possibly, and maybe we've got the lie angle just a little bit wrong for what we actually need. So even though I was not wanting it to go left, I'm now got into a position where I've overcooked it in some ways, and now we've got it going a little bit too far right. Strike location being in the toe, do you think that would affect my ball speed? Because I've noticed that the ball speed dropped off fractionally with that.
Yeah, I would do, definitely. I mean, these have a tungsten toe weighting, which helps in terms of toe strike, but you're still going to lose a bit of ball speed. If it turns out that it's slightly toe down, we also weaken the loft, so both those things are going to affect the ball speed, giving you less ball speed and push the ball flight right.
And it's probably what I'm seeing out on the golf course.
Yeah.
Okay, what should we do? Should we hit some shots with them and then spec them up and see where we're at?
Yeah, let's get some numbers, see where we're at, and then we can make little subtle changes and see if we can get it back to where we want it to be, I guess.
It's just a fight. That's a fight, right? That was nice. That was a better strike that time. Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
But that's what, that's quite extreme. Because
Yeah,
I look
it is.
up and go, that shouldn't be that doesn't feel that far right.
No.
For the video purposes, I want to just hit my 7-iron now, just to see if it's kind of me in here today, or whether this is going to square itself up, get that ball speed up to around sort of 115-ish, something like that, and then carry-wise, probably, well, 158 to 160. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, sounds good.
That should be a little left.
Yeah, straight away. 116 ball speed, 163 carry.
Probably going to drop a little bit to the right, but the strike felt pretty good. Oh yeah.
162 carry. Centre strike.
So I don't need to exhaust myself by hitting loads and loads of irons here, but from a strike performance point of view, this is where we're kind of at with my current iron, so my current 7-iron.
Yeah.
And is that the...
That then is the 0317T.
Okay, so we're definitely seeing a little hot spot being closer to the toe area. And then from an actual ball speed point of view, on an average, should we say?
So 112 with the PXG 0317T.
Yeah.
And then with your Titleist 116.
116. So we're definitely seeing what I said, around 115-ish.
So that difference would be because of a combination of lie angle. Yeah. So it's a little bit flatter, which is going to push the ball right. You just lose ball speed, generate more spin, so everything falls back. Okay. So, and the strike, of course, is going to cost you a little bit of ball speed as well.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the other thing that I've just noticed in here now, and we've talked about it from a swing weight point of view, is I don't feel... I feel like, you know, when I'm hitting shots and I've lost my sense of feel with where the ball is kind of going, does that feel, is that more of a swing weight possible change that's making my feel different?
It could potentially. I mean, if you've gone to a
heavier swing weight,
a heavier swing weight, it's just a different feel, isn't it? Sometimes, generally lighter, you can lose feel of where the head is, but when you go too heavy as well, it's very similar. You lose that bit of control and you just lose a bit of feel, and your strike can go a little bit haywire as well.
Okay, so I think the experiment we did hasn't really paid off from possibly the swing weight point of view as well.
Not by the looks of it, no. Sadly.
No, okay. So whilst Connor is setting himself up back there to have a little look at swing weight, we're going to measure the club spec check time, right? You're probably asking the question, Dan, why are you looking to change these clubs, considering how well you're striking them out the middle, you're getting decent ball speed out of them? Well, the idea is that I want something with just a little bit more forgiveness, and that head that we're getting out of the PXG is definitely a more forgiving head with those off-centered strikes. You've got to think that I've really not felt a massive difference from center strike to in the toe with those PXGs, and even though I'm hitting them in the toe, I'm not really sensing that, whereas if I hit these in the toe, I'm definitely knowing the difference between center and toe. So therefore, the forgiveness is there, and as Connor's already mentioned, there's a little bit more tungsten behind the head, certainly in the toe area of those PXG irons, which is again going to give me that, well, give me that feel that I'm still hitting pretty much middle. So Connor, just putting in my current 7-iron, from a swing weight point of view, what are you seeing?
D2.3.
So D3 or D2, 2.5, is that what you're saying roughly?
Yeah, D2, D2.5.
Right, okay.
Sitting in the middle basically.
And if we compare that, let's say, to the 7-iron in the PXG setup, D3-ish, is that what we're seeing?
D3, yeah.
Okay, which is what we kind of spec them up to be, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we're seeing a difference of maybe 1 swing weight?
About a swing weight, just under, yeah, which
Would I feel that?
Potentially, yeah. The more you play golf, the more you feel it. So generally, not necessarily lower handicappers, but tour players or professionals, they'll feel a grand difference a lot more than, say, somebody who plays a weekend golfer, somebody who plays once a month. So that could be a big difference for
okay. And then from then, let's say in the actual lie side of things, the loft, because ultimately we tried to get the loft the same, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to do. We were trying to give me the forgiveness of what I was getting out of a bladed iron, as in control with the spin and all those numbers. But we pushed the lie angle well, 2 degrees flat, which was my kind of standard lie angle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What I wanted.
Okay, so we've got 60.5.
Okay.
So 2 degrees flat and 34 degree.
Okay, so it's 2 degrees flat in what PXG offer, and the loft is 2 degrees weaker than what you would offer standard in that head, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and then if we compare that to the Titleist, so ideally we want the loft to be the same, and then possibly the lie angle is going to be fractionally out anyway, half a degree out from what the standard of Titleist is.
Yeah. So we've got 34 loft, lie angle is 61.5.
Okay, so what's the difference in lies with those?
So lie is 1 degree.
There's 1 degree difference.
Yeah, 1.2, 1.3 degree difference, which means if you swing the clubs the same, toe is going to be 1.2 degrees flatter in the PXG.
Yeah.
Toe down will push the ball flight a bit right and add a little bit more spin.
And move my strike location potentially.
And move strike location.
Okay.
Definitely worth trying. If we get those specs closer to this,
Yes.
at least see if that brings the ball flight over. Guarantee it will give you more ball speed as well.
Okay.
And just see what the numbers can do.
Right,
in
let's
this
get
setup.
So we get back into the studio here,
Yeah.
a couple more with a different spec setup in the heads,
Yeah.
and then see how that performs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have the 120 S300.
What I love is the options that you have when it comes to the weights in the back there and how easy it is to then start moving things around.
Yeah.
Because most other clubs on the market, you're either you're having tip weights in the shaft to change it, or then slapping a load of lead tape on it.
Yeah, it does make it very adjustable, and within a fitting especially, you can really dial it in.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're bang on D2.
Which is where I should be.
Yeah.
Based on what my previous set was.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's go with that then. So the only thing to note with this then is that the fitting head that you've got,
Yeah.
this one is going to be 32 degrees in loft in standard.
Yeah.
So even though we've moved ours, my one, to 34, we're going to see more ball speed anyway because of that.
As a result of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the more important thing really is the flight, isn't it? That it's not leaking out to the right.
Correct.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So definitely this feels now. I can feel the toe just a little bit more up than the previous one. The difference, honestly, the difference there with just one hit is a meatier feel off the face. So I'm assuming I've got it more middle.
Yeah.
Based on what I felt. I mean, that's hit target, is it not?
Yeah.
Pretty
bang
much.
on.
It's just coming back now, isn't it?
It's better, yeah. That was more centered strike as well.
So that was toey. But that's what I expected it to do.
Yeah. 163 carry still. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'd expect it to be. 118.5 ball speed, 170 carry.
Yeah.
And then when you weaken the lofts, you'll be
yeah,
back
we're
out.
going to weaken the loft because the spin's down a fraction than what we want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So all in all, then we're seeing. Well, I'm feeling a difference massively.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling a huge difference in the fact that I've got. Well, they feel fantastic. To be honest. They feel meaty. They feel solid. They feel like they've got all the ball speed coming off them that I'm expecting to see. They feel a smidge light.
Okay.
But then I've really moved the swing weight a lot there, haven't we? We've moved it like 2 notches there, from D3 or 4 to now
Big change,
D2.
yeah. So we could try something in the middle, maybe add another swing weight, just see if you get a bit more, just to feel that you're used to, I suppose, that you like. See where we go to. I mean, comparing the two, that's 6 with each.
Yeah.
So the new setup, D3 or 317 versus your Titleist irons, average of 160 carry with the Titleist, 13.5 feet right.
Okay.
Really good central strike. 3 mils towards the toe, that's just your pattern, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my pattern for sure.
And comparing that with the 0317s, 13 feet right on average.
Yeah.
163 carry, so the only difference really we're seeing is the lofts.
Okay. And light and impact is 8 millimeters in the toe.
Impact 8 millimeters in the toe, so a little bit more.
Still toey, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So shall we try an extra swing weight sitting between the two to see if that gets the strike across? So we're going up to D2.5 from D2. So we've added 1 gram to the head.
Right. So a slight shift.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but just a little bit. That was good. It's got to be straight. That felt so good.
It's your quickest ball speed in here today.
Yeah. That should be on it, I think. Still a little toey, but on it.
Yeah. 172 carry. 121.7 ball speed.
Might just drift right, but it still felt great.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Same ball speed. 172 carry. Feeling a bit better?
So much better. I don't know why. That's something I just feel like I can feel a little bit more in there.
Yeah.
But not too overpowering, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Interestingly, your swing speed's crept up there with more weight in the head.
Has it?
It's gone up to 88 those last 3 or 4 swings from 86.
Yeah, that's really good then.
Yeah.
All in all, it's a bit of a move, haven't we? We've created something different there, which feels great for me personally, but you're saying that I've just picked up maybe a little bit more speed?
So yeah, we gained a couple of miles an hour club head speed. So from where we were, we dropped at a full swing weight and numbers got a little bit better, but the strike wasn't quite there and you didn't quite like the feel of it.
Yeah.
We've now added half a swing weight from there. So we're sitting between where we started and where we first tried. In that setup, we've gained a couple of miles an hour club head speed. Ball speed's gone up by 3 or 4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see a really good flight and just really good numbers.
And I can feel it more.
Yeah.
Like that's really important to me is at the bottom when I'm coming into impact, I get that sense of where I can feel where the club head is at. And I know, when I was talking about the flights, I was telling you what they were going to be doing. Yeah. Whereas previously I would say they were doing that and then they weren't doing what I expected them to do. So at least we're starting to get that sense back into me, a little bit more of that. But that feels so good. That feels really good. And ultimately it's because I'm not now living in the toe of the club, I'm now living more towards the centre. Even though on average it's 7 mil toe, it's a better result, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Better flight, better numbers, better ball speed.
Yeah. So what happens from here now with my clubs then? Where do we go from here?
So from here, depending on what the alterations are for you, it's a case of we can pop them back into the builds and get the swing weights changed and alter that lie angle slightly. So we're going to make it 1 degree more upright.
Okay.
So rather than 2 flat, we're going to go to 1 flat.
Yeah.
Generally what would happen would be have a look at the numbers, and if somebody's made a purchase and something's a bit off, we'd go through this process again. And if it's a case of swing weights changing, we'll just pop it through our system, get it sorted in behind with the build team, then it'll get it shipped out within about a week on average. And obviously there's no charge on that as well when you're within the 30 days.
There we go then.
Thank you.
They all go next door, do they?
Yeah, they do. So quick little turnaround for you. But yeah, they're all ready.
They're all ready to go?
Good to go. I'll go and grab them for you now.
Here we go then. Arrived back. Now, just so everybody knows, this isn't a normal situation, is it?
No, so normally if we have to make a spec change, because it goes through our build facility, we'd have to just put the order in or the repair, and it's generally looking at about a week and they'll be shipped out on next day delivery for you. If it is something as simple as changing the loft and lie, we can do it here.
Yeah.
If it's a more serious change like the swing weight or the shaft, then you're looking at about a week.
Yeah.
But for yourself, we said we'd make an exception today. So yeah, we've
got
video
purposes.
Video purposes, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got slightly lighter swing weight now, what we dialed it into, which was D2.5, and the loft we moved from 2 degrees flat to 1 degree flat. So hopefully now we'll be
there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So visually, just a fraction feels like they're just a fraction more toe up at setup.
Yeah.
So I can see the sort of toe is up a little bit, a fraction, so it's a different feel.
Ball speed straight away, 118 from 112 this morning.
Yeah. Spin 6.1.5, which is
Perfect.
good.
164 carry.
164 carry?
Yeah, which that's what we were getting earlier in 2 degree stronger loft.
Yeah.
Strike 9 mils towards the toe, but
felt as solid as the setup one, the setting one that you did. So even that though, Connor, that felt, I could feel that in the toe now, a fraction. Look at the difference in flight.
Yeah.
So that's 8 millimeters in the toe, that one particular strike. But what I'm liking is that, you know, the change of that swing weight, it feels to me, I can feel it. I know I can kind of look up and
you know where it's going.
A little bit more, yeah. I'm getting the sense, like if I miss it low in the face and it shoots off to the right, I'm expecting to see that. That was solid.
Good swing, yeah. Nice.
That's so good, isn't it?
More centered strike.
Center strike, 5 millimeters in the toe.
6.3 spin.
6.3 in the spin.
Yeah.
That's the control that I want.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good.
Lovely.
So that's 5 millimeters in the toe. 162 yards, which I've looked up and seen that pretty much every time, and around 6.3 in the spin. And ball speed 117.
Yeah, nice jump.
That's a big jump. That's really good, mate. Really, really good.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've gone from 152 average carry, 6.7 spin.
Yeah.
Average of 48 feet right.
Okay.
To 161 average carry, 6.4 spin, average of 4 feet 4 inches right. So everything is just so much better and a lot more optimum. And the strike even is a bit more consistent than 2 mils further towards the center. So really good numbers. Even the ball speed, we're gone from 112.3 up to 117. So a gain of nearly 5 miles an hour in ball speed, which is just because you're more optimum now, lie angle. At impact, you're not toe down and you're not blocking it out to the right. And even that flight just looks so consistent, doesn't it?
Such a difference. Like, it's a difference in feel. And I suppose I'm probably a bit anxious driving up here thinking, oh, I hope it's not like a complete rebuild, that we got it wrong, because we didn't actually get it wrong in the actual specs, did we? As in, the shaft is great, it feels great, it feels quite responsive in my hands. It's just purely a change of lie angle and then a swing weight change to give the feel back, and the feel is completely different. The strike is where I want it, obviously need it to be. Out the middle. It's given me the spin, it's given me the ball speed, and it's now given me the yardage and the accuracy to back it all up.
Yeah.
A win-win for PXG.
Winning on all fronts here, so.
I think it's just a great facility, obviously, that you're offering here, but it's also the great after service that comes with it. And like Connor's talked about, you know, we're not seeing that you're going to get the service that, obviously we've had this done for the video today because it was important to get this right for the video, but it's just an added service that, you know, that you can come back to PXG and get yourself specced up if they're not quite right. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.